Thoughts on the game and then questions, please.
Well, as everyone saw, it was a disappointing day for us, and I'll take full responsibility. Obviously didn't call a good game. It didn't have our guys ready to play. It didn't have our guys understanding what it takes to really win at a high level in this conference, especially against good teams. So obviously didn't come down off the high from last week, and so we got a lot of work to do. I did think when you look at the game, we got exposed up front on both sides of the ball other than George. They were able to push us back quite a bit on the defense, especially in the second half, and offensively, didn't pass protect very well, didn't knock him out off the ball, missed blocks, didn't get yards after contact, and really had to resort to throwing it almost every play, and that's not going to be effective if you want to win at a high level. I thought our defense kept us in the game without question the first half and did a really good job and played hard, but of course they wore them down and hit some big runs and kept knocking us back off the ball. So bad day, disappointing. Just like every win and loss counts as one, so we got to get back to work. We understand the last half of the schedule is going to be challenging and difficult, and we're going to have to improve and get better if we want to have a chance to win. And it starts next week on the road against a really good team that we've got to find a way to get a whole lot better.
How come they were able to bottle up David Bell?
Well, I thought they got up in his face and they challenged him. Probably wasn't one of his better days. We tried to throw it to him at times, and whether he was not getting open or whether the protection was not lasting long enough or whether we weren't finding him. So it was a combination of a lot of things, and we had quite a bit of targets to him, but they did a good job guarding him.
Jeff, just at first glance, why did Aiden kind of struggle so much throwing the ball?
Well, I think Aiden is an aggressive passer and likes to try to fit it into tight windows, and those windows weren't big enough, and you can't throw it to the other team. And the outcut, he throws it too soon. The guy's covered. You have to be able to find the check down and run it, and you can't beat pinpoint accuracy. And they did a good job. He sat on our route. He beat our receiver to the spot, so he did a better job than our receiver, and we threw it right to the receiver. Excuse me, to the defensive back. We had another one over the middle that, the safety's sitting right there. He tries to force it right into the middle of the field in a situation in the half where we just talked about not throwing an interception, and really just a really poor decision. So there was a lot of disappointing, poor things that happened, starting with myself, continuing all the way down to a lot of things, and didn't take care of the ball. We talked about at halftime, they're going to try to strip it and grab it. They're wanting to rally to the ball as soon as we catch it. We got to see the catch and tuck, and first thing get it knocked away on a power read by the quarterback, just goes on the ground. Those are just really ridiculous things that happen.
Where do you go from here, quarterback, Jeff? I know you always like competition. Is it still Aiden's job? Is it going to be open now, or have you any thought at all about the next move there?
Well, we'll always reevaluate everything every week. I think Aiden has done some really good things overall. This was not a good day for him. I don't know if anything to change as far as if we feel someone can get us over the hump. Our quarterback has to play better. I have to do a better job. We got to block better. Offensive line has to play better. There's football's a lot of things, and we can't all put it on the quarterback. But throwing interceptions can't happen. So if we can't eliminate those or limit those, then we will have some issues.
Was Payne's success today based on what you saw this week that you maybe could exploit, or was Wisconsin paying a lot of attention to David Bell and that left Payne some opportunities?
Well, I think they were paying a lot of attention to our outside receivers and buzzing underneath and having the safety help and having backers fly outside. They were bringing a linebacker or two, which we knew they would do. They do a lot of simulated pressures where because their defensive end are stand-up linebackers, they're going to bring them inside and click out guys, and your offensive line has to be attuned and sharp and able to block all those different types of things. And we worked it all week long. We were not good at blocking it today, but when we hit some shots to Payne, it was because, you know, they were blitzing up the middle and buzzing out to our receivers and making our tight ends beat them.
Coach, you already talked about it a little bit, but just in that second half, what was it, do you think, that allowed Wisconsin to just have so much success running the football against your defense?
Well, I think our defense played very well in the first half. They were ready to go. And they got some push on some runs on the interior, which I wasn't worried about, but we found a way to make enough plays. And then as the game wore on, the second half, without question, we got beat up front. And you know, their size and physicality won and won us over. And then really that's their game. You know, they're going to run the football, they're going to pound it, and if you can't find a way to get a lead, they're going to continue to do that. And unless you're, you know, got a lot of NFL players up there that can fight that off, but it's a challenge for anybody. So, you know, we can get better, but we did get dominated up front today.
Further questions for Coach? One back here. Sorry.
Coach, 2 fumble recoveries today, 4 interceptions last week. What does it mean to see your defense starting to create some turnovers now?
Well, our defense has done a really good job all year long. We had some opportunities in the first 6 games to get turnovers. The ball didn't bounce our way, but it was on the ground. Last couple of games, the ball's bounced our way, and we got those turnovers. And you know, last week we were able to capitalize on that, even though most of them were at the end of the game. It really didn't matter. The game was out of reach. This week we were not, and you know, that falls on the offense for not being able to produce and score points and move the chains. And you know, it takes a full team effort in order to win, especially against good opponents. And some years one side will hold the end of the straw a little bit more, and other years another side will hold the end of the straw a little bit more. But in the end, you've got to figure out a way to get the W, and that's what we have to figure out a way to get.
Anything else for Coach? Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Coach.